coffee? What's up everybody? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be trying out this foundation from Dior. It's called the Dior Forever 24-Hour Wear High Perfection Skin Caring Foundation. That is a long title, but I picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale a few weeks ago, and I thought that I would, as per usual, try it out in this first impression type of video, walk through it with you guys, show you what it looks like on the skin, wear it all day, then come back and give you my thoughts, as we do. And I just realized too that I've never tried any foundations from Dior, so this is a big day. I'm very excited. As for shades, it shows 28 different shades on Sephora's website, but then when you go to Dior's, it has 36 shades on there, so they must have the full range. I picked it up in the shade 2WO Warm Olive, and this is good for anybody with light skin with warm yellow undertones. Fingers crossed this is gonna match me. And it comes in this luxurious glass bottle. It has a pump, hallelujah, and it has your standard 30 ml amount of product inside. I prep my skin with the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream Moisturizer, and now it says this is a medium to full coverage foundation that remains flawless for up to 24 hours with a velvety matte finish. The complexion is supposed to appear flawless and even, and the pores tightened from morning to night. And then just a few other details that I found interesting. It says that this is made with meticulously selected skincare to reveal the skin's full sensuality. It contains an SPF 35, and when I'm reading it, I believe this is a physical sunscreen because it says that the active ingredient in here is titanium dioxide, which is found in physical sunscreen. And this also comes in a radiant finish as well. It's called the Dior Forever Skin Glow, if you're interested in that finish. That applied so nicely, like it went on so smoothly, blended out so easily. There's no tugging at the skin, like it doesn't feel, there's certain foundations when they have a matte finish, they can really dry down quickly and be a little bit tugging on the skin, but this one is not at all. It actually feels really nice. At first, I was a little scared of the color too because it went on really light, but it seemed to have adjusted to my skin tone really nicely, and that happened really quickly. You can still see my skin peeking through underneath, so I'm probably gonna add another layer just to build up the coverage because that was a pretty light layer to start off with. Let's do that much to start. So you see when I first start blending it out, or once it's applied, it looks pretty yellow, pretty light, but then it does just adjust pretty quickly. It has a fragrance. It's light. It's nothing overwhelming, but it does have a scent. Here's a second layer. I'd say that definitely added more coverage, but it doesn't look too full coverage, like that thick full coverage. It feels really light on the skin. I'm actually really impressed with how it feels. It did a really good job at evening out the skin tone, like especially here when you look at this side with all the redness and the discoloration. This side looks great compared to this. So I think on the other side, as I usually do, I'll use a damp beauty sponge. Oh, I kind of applied that a little messy. And now I'll use the sponge to blend it out. Oh, it feels so nice. Like the skin feels so smooth and you can feel it's already started to dry down. Coverage wise, I would say this is a really natural medium finish for me. I can still see my skin. Actually, just to show you, let's put a little more coverage on the cheeks. And application wise, I think both honestly are just fine. I don't see more coverage with the brush versus the beauty blender and vice versa. I think it's all personal preference with how you like to apply. Actually, maybe I might see a little less coverage with the beauty blender, but honestly, this is where I have more freckles than this side. Let me come up close so you can get a real good look at what it looks like on the skin. So up on the forehead is where I have some of my unwanted pores, and I would say that the foundation did smooth over them and it's not drawing any added attention to them. It doesn't look dry or textured, so that's really nice. It's not overly dry in certain areas like my expression lines, which I love. And I think that my skin looks really flawless without looking too made up, like too much coverage, you know, too heavy on the skin. So now you guys know what I've been doing lately. I've been using the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray before I go in with my concealer and powders. So I'll give that a chance to dry down on the skin, lock everything in place. And now I'm gonna go in with some concealer, and I'm just gonna use my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer underneath the eyes. And to set, I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Let's talk about how the skin looks. I'm kind of obsessed with how my skin looks right now. I think it looks so healthy and fresh-faced. I'm seeing a bit of a radiance to the skin, which is a little bit different than what I thought it was gonna look like. Because it says velvety matte finish, I expected to see less shine. It could also have something to do with the powder that I used, or like the setting spray, which is the Urban Decay. It usually adds a little bit of a dew to the skin, but even when I add a little bit more powder, you can see it doesn't, like the skin doesn't have that overly matte finish, which I like. Oh, that actually looks real good. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to show you a time check for right now, 12:08. So that's the time when I set the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a bit more makeup. I'm just hanging around the house today, so I'm gonna keep it light, and I'll be right back. I love how my makeup's looking, love how the skin's looking. So far, this first part of the video is going really well. I'm going to go on about my day, but I just wanted to also mention to you why I decided to pick up this foundation in the first place. Sometimes I forget to even talk about what intrigued me to want to buy the product. Wow. So I'm at Sephora. I see the Dior foundation and I wanted to try it out. I saw that there's a glow finish, matte finish. I was reading the back of the bottle. I liked that it said velvety matte finish without the mask-like effect. And then I saw that it said the skin's texture appears refined and pores tightened. And lately that is something that I've been really trying to focus on, because I keep seeing more and more pores popping out and I'm not really accepting it well. And I know that it's when you get older, you see more pores. The skin is just not, it doesn't have as much elasticity as it once used to tighten on its own. So I just like that this was a product that was supposed to be good for pores. And then I brought it home and I started being a little bit of an Inspector Gadget, and I was reading up on the ingredients that it has. It says that there's rosehip extract, and the first thing I think of is rosehip oil. And you know, you associate pores with oil, and I have been trying to cut back on certain products. I try to use more oil-free products when I can, not always, because that's impossible. But it says that this is actually the star ingredient of Dior Forever. It's supposed to help protect the skin from external aggressors and reduce the appearance of pores. And then I just started reading up on rosehip oil in general, and it actually says that this is one oil that is good for somebody with combination skin, acne prone skin. I've read a lot of people say that this rosehip oil has helped improve acne scarring, and it's not supposed to clog pores. So that made me feel a little bit better about it. It will be interesting to see if I like it at the end of today, if this will be a product that I can continue to use, and then maybe in a month or two report back and tell you if I've noticed any different changes in my skin, good or bad. And then yeah, but I decided I also wanted to do the SPF check for you, or the flashback test. Looks pretty good, nothing crazy going on. If anything, there might be a little bit of a lighter spotlight in the center of the face, but nothing I can't live with. It almost just looks like a little bit of highlighting, which is always good. It's 6:46 and I wanted to do a check-in while there's still some natural light out. And remember the other day when I said it was like an oven in my place? It was so hot and beautiful and sunny outside. Today is the complete opposite. I'm actually kind of cold sitting here right now, but anyways, let me just get up real close. I would say that my skin is looking pretty good. I'm not overly shiny. The oils are starting to come through, but I wouldn't say that I feel or look greasy, which is a good sign. But with that said, because the oils are starting to come out, the pores might be a little bit more noticeable, but so far I think they look okay. I would say that in here I'm more aware of now because it looks a little bit more textured to me in the expression lines, as well as on the chin. I noticed that it's getting a little bit, what's the word? I want to say gritty, but it's not separating just yet, but I feel like if there's any place that it's going to be right here. It is 11:07. I have had this foundation on for 11 hours, which is crazy. I didn't think I'd be wearing it that long. No touch-ups. First of all, can we talk about how good my skin looks? There's a little bit of shine, but I don't look greasy, which I think is amazing because I thought I would be way more shiny than I am right now. I am so impressed. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with how the coverage has lasted. There's not much wear off except for underneath the nose and a little bit on the chin, although it hasn't actually worn off. It's just started to lift. And I'm just looking down at my notes. I would say the color match of the foundation was pretty dang good. Now, the cons. I'd say there's two, one bigger than the other. Let's start off with the less of the two. I'm feeling a little bit greasy right now, which is nothing crazy because again, I've been wearing it all day, and I do think that if I touched it, it would come off. I think now it's not transfer proof. If I move it around enough, it's gonna come off on my finger. Although it doesn't really look like a lot there. It just looks like maybe I took the grease off. Oh, I could be wrong. There's a little bit. The biggest thing here that is holding me back from saying you need to absolutely go out and buy this is the price tag. Now, I didn't mention the price earlier, but in Canada, this costs $64. If you live in the US, this is $52. This is definitely one of the most expensive foundations that I've ever purchased. Do I think it is worth it? Yes. It's not every day I come across a foundation that I like this much, gives me this finish, makes me feel flawless, so I do think it's worth the money. I do think you're also paying the extra bucks because it's from Dior. You're definitely paying for the luxury name that is Dior. But again, is it worth it? You tell me. I think my skin looks really good, but I definitely want to hear what you guys think. If you've tried it, please let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and also include your skin type. I know I like reading how it works, but I also want to know what your skin type is. It's like when you go on to Sephora and you read reviews. I know I'm always like, yeah, you liked it, but what's your skin type like? So help me out, help everybody else out watching this video. And that is it. I am done for tonight. It is late. It is much later than it's so late I can't even form sentences right now. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new. Come back next week for a brand new video. Also, what foundation do you want to see me review next? Leave me a comment and let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.